Hello everyone, I'm Oz from Gamification Group, Tampere University, Finland. And today I will tell you about our journey of designing gaming variables, starting from a participatory design workshop until the concept creation. But before delving into what we have done, let's talk about gaming variables that have been impactful in the mainstream gaming market recently. Gaming variables are an emergent field, and several examples were released recently, such as Fallout 4's Pip-Boy, which was part of its collector edition, Pokemon Go Plus, which is a device that can be attached to clothes or worn as a bracelet and gives notifications about the Pokemons around in the Pokemon game, or Nintendo Switch's Labo Robot Kit, which is a cardboard backpack that facilitates bodily play and connection to the digital avatar. However, the gaming variables for mainstream game platforms are almost limited to those examples when we consider devices that are closely connected to games. And these variables have limitations, such as they are targeted only a specific game and lack versatility in terms of game mechanics and interactions. As we have explicated, gaming variables field is an emergent one. However, all these examples attracted the attention of players. For example, the Fallout 4's Pip-Boy has been the fastest-selling collector edition ever. Apart from that, it is expected that they become more widespread in the future, and especially with the increasing popularity of virtual reality gaming, we expect more variable interfaces for games to emerge. However, currently, existing examples do not provide a rich design knowledge and inform the field regarding the expectations of stakeholders from gaming variables for mainstream game platforms such as PCs, consoles, or mobile devices. This is why we wanted to deeply explore this field by incorporating different kinds of stakeholders by conducting a series of participatory design workshops with 33 participants. These participants had different backgrounds such as electronic engineering, software development, game design, interaction design, bioadaptive design, and also cosplay to examine the costuming features of variables. Of course, we also included players with different gaming habits. We have organized 6 workshops that focused on various strengths of variables. First 5 workshops respectively focus on interactive aspects, social features, costuming angle, movement, and bioadaptivity in games. Each workshop resulted in 3 different key themes, totaling to 15 design themes in the sessions. After, we gathered these participants in the fusion workshop and we mixed and matched them in groups so they can share their experiences. By drawing upon each other's knowledge gained in the first 5 workshops, in the fusion workshop, they created holistic gaming variables. By drawing on all these knowledge, we created 7 design implications and 5 different novel gaming variable concepts guided by these design implications. Let's briefly go through the design knowledge created in this process. Our first set of output was the key design themes which were created in the first 5 Adam workshops. We don't have time to go through all of them, but let's give an example to see the nature of it. For example, the mechanics theme from the costuming workshop indicates that costuming qualities of playful variables should also correspond to meaningful game mechanics. An example given by participants was a player who was wearing a bandage. If the player would have to hold the bandage when the in-game character is injured, player would need to play the game with only one hand for a while, adding an additional challenge because the character was injured, but also connects the player to the imaginary avatar in a more emotional way because the players hold their body similar to what an injured character would do. This theme then is centered around how costume pieces can lead to game mechanics that can also create bodily connections to game character. By drawing upon those themes, participants created intermediary design concepts in the Fusion workshop. One of the interesting concepts was a wig called Head-On. Head-On is a custom piece which creates a connection between the player and the character while also transferring the emotions of the player to the game by using an embedded EEG device. For example, when the player is calm, they can create a bigger fireball, while fireball can be more ineffective if they cannot contain a lower heart rate. Head-On also brings in various different spots on the wearable that can be used in the game. As in here, when player holds and plays with the ear, the in-game character does the same, or when a button on the braid is pressed, character raises a shield. These features also fosters the material and affective connection between the player and the character, in addition to the transfer of emotions. We introduce two more concepts coined by participants in the paper. Please go ahead and check them if you're interested. Up until this point, the presented knowledge were put forth by our participants in the workshops. From now on, we will present our interpretation of this knowledge in the form of design implications and final gaming wearable concepts. By connecting the different nodes of design knowledge created, we have extracted 7 design implications. These implications actually were presented as game cards in our pictorial. As you can see, each card has icons belonging to the key themes and the intermediary concepts. While creating design implications, it is possible to fall into the pitfall of filtering many important details emerged in the design process. By visually mapping the design knowledge created in the process to our cards, we could easily track back to the themes and the concepts that guided specific implications. This visualization may help understand the rationale behind implications and allow to grasp the important details of the design knowledge. These 7 implications guided our further design process. However, I'm sure that they are more interesting to read rather than to listen to. More important thing here is how we incorporated them in the design process. For further details, check our pictorial, and if you also need to see a deeper engagement with them, please stay tuned for our CHI 2021 paper called Towards the Next Generation of Gaming Wearables. Put in a circular form here, we turned our cards into implication wheels. We used these wheels to informally assess the relation of the final concepts we created with the design implications. They also worked towards understanding the unexplored parts to create design concepts that can satisfy these unexplored points. We have created many different concepts, but chose 5 of them to present in more detail in the pictorial. Among these 5 concepts, let's make a raffle and choose one to depict here in this presentation. You can see the rest in the pictorial. And the lucky one is the gaming clothes. In our pictorial, we have presented each concept with a fictional use case scenario told by the perspective of users. Here, I will also try to do some acting by reanimating this fictional scenario. Here it comes. When I see gaming clothes, I was quite excited by this fabric-based wearable, but to be honest, also a bit skeptical about its usefulness in a game. I first tried gaming clothes with a computer role-playing game, and the game was specifically designed for the gaming cloth, and you could use it in many ways. For example, if you cover your body against an attack like this, you can use it as a shield. Or let's say your character is injured, then you can basically wrap it around your arm and it becomes a bandage and heals your character. It was quite good and interesting to see that I can use whole my body as a gaming surface, but I was able to even use it as an extension of my body. Like, for example, I can wrap it around my hand and it can become a tentacle, and I can just, hit the enemies with that. Or it has also sensors here that can detect some of my bodily data. And if I wear it, for example, like this, as a wizard cloak, and if I can keep my calm for a while, I can become invisible. Gaming Cloud is an interesting product that can completely change how I can play games by putting my body into them. But there is only a few games so far that is supported by Gaming Cloud. And if there was not any more released soon, I don't know, maybe it can become useless. I hope they will release more games for that product. I thank you all for attending this talk, and we believe that the knowledge created throughout our process will be guiding for the design of gaming variables, and the final concepts we presented demonstrate a glimpse of what playful variables can bring to the game experience. Apart from that, we also found quite useful to visualize all the design knowledge and map it throughout the process to understand how it is incorporated in the different phases of our design. I hope that you will also enjoy reading the pictorial, and it will be useful for your research. Thanks again, and feel free to ask any questions.